Welcome to Community Chat.
I am Joan Edgehill, the president of the Jamaican American Association and the vice president of This is Jamaica. I'm a poet and author of the book Still We Smile. The Jamaican American Association is conducting our Thanksgiving basket drive right now as I speak, and we're giving away those baskets to people in our community. We're also having a Christmas drive, so please go to JAAOCF.com where you can donate to that. Those gifts will be given to people at Harbor House Domestic Violence Center. We're also having, coming up soon, our pre-New Year's Gala. Go to JAAOCF.com to hear more about us. All funds from that gala goes towards our scholarships. So be sure to donate, please. All right, today I have a very special guest. And with us today we have Mr. Omar Largie. He is a graduate of MIU, Miami City University in Florida, and the University of Technology, Jamaica, UTECH. He holds a Master's of Science in Leadership, Management, and Emerging Technologies. He pursued further studies at the National College for Education Leadership. Now, before becoming a principal at Penwood High School in September 2022, he served as vice principal from September 2016 until he was promoted to being a principal. So during his tenure in administration, he made some very, very, very important improvements at the school. So welcome, Mr. Largie. How are you today?
Thank you, Joan.
Yes.
I'm doing well.
Great.
Especially to your listeners.
Lovely. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Nice. So tell us now, you graduated from both MIU, Miami City University, right here in Florida, and also the University of Technology in Jamaica. Were you residing in Miami during your studies or solely there for academic purposes?
Interestingly, the COVID-19 was very horrible on the world.
Oh, yes.
It propelled technology. So I was actually in Jamaica while studying at the MIU.
Oh, wonderful.
It was like I was almost in Miami itself.
Yes, the wonders of technology, huh?
Indeed.
Excellent, excellent. All right, you also hold a Master's of Science in Leadership Management and Emerging Technologies and pursued further studies at the National College of Education Leadership. So please elaborate for us on your educational journey and your academic achievements, please.
Being education, Joan, it's important that as teachers and educators, we are always on the cutting edge of every new information because we're not preparing the students for now, but for the future. So my journey actually started in 2008 where I did my first degree, and that was actually in nutrition and dietetics. But some way, somehow, I ended up teaching chemistry at Penwood High School. While doing my class there, I went back to UTEC to do a postgraduate in teaching. And while continuing to teaching, and I recognized that I had some sort of leadership skills. I eventually went to the National College for Educational Leadership right here in Jamaica, where I actually did a program called Aspiring Principals Program. Immediately after that program, I eventually ascended to the principalship. From that, then I would have gone to MIU to study the master's because I believe in technology, and technology can really change the world for the better. And that's why I specifically took some time to research what's the perfect master's degree that would link management, leadership, and technology. And interestingly, MIU was the only one that offered all three in its combination. And presently now I'm even still studying again, doing a program called Effective Principles And this is also done in Jamaica at the National College.
Wonderful.
Leadership. So as an educational leader and as a teacher myself, education is ongoing for me.
Right. Excellent. You know, good teachers are very, very important, but I think good principals are probably even more important, you know, because you're guiding and leading those teachers, you know, and you have the opportunity to build them up or or not to do so. So thank you for the work you're doing. Mr. Largie, you are currently principal at Penwood High, and you served as vice principal, as I said, before your promotion. So how did your experience as principal prepare you for your current role?
As I look back, I remember I was somewhat timid or somewhat shy because being 30 and a vice principal at that time in Jamaica was a major feat. Because in Jamaica, unlike the US, majority of our culture is really that a leader must be aged. So my experience was somewhat, okay, I am leading such a more senior staff than myself. Notwithstanding, I had no issue at all because I recognize that based on competence, based on my educational background, I was able to lead the team successfully and effectively.
Excellent, excellent. All right, so that's excellent. Now you have had substantial substantial improvements at Penwood and received some accolades, I hear, for your work at the school. So we really would like to know some more about that, some of the improvements that you enacted at the school. Would you be able to tell us that?
We jump into my Yes, one of the things that we started off with was that of a mentorship program, because Penwood is situated in the inner city and most of our children really are not interested in school, and they will also see many others around them being educated but not working. So one of the main things we started off with was a mentorship program that has been reaping some great success. Again, because of the communities they're from, we actually had some anti-gang workshops, because without discipline, there can be no academic progress. So we also did some of that. Interestingly, we also employed the strategy of having character development sessions, because for our students, again, they're not those good role models that they see within their circle from time to time. Within the classes as well, we have to focus on the teachers. So we actually have daily classroom visits to ensure that not only the students are doing their jobs, but the teachers themselves are actually on target.
Yes.
With everything, we have to have some amount of celebration. So one of the main things that we've been doing for the last couple of years was prize giving. And as you mentioned earlier, we had actually started a scholarship program, because for our students, we have to find some way to celebrate their excellence.
Yeah.
For our children as well, they are hungry. They don't know about it. So for them to have a breakfast program where they can actually come to school, have a warm meal before class, that actually helped in terms of their attendance rates.
Wow. So that's something you enacted at the school. That's great, you know, because the same thing happens here, you know, where some of the children come to school in the morning and they're hungry. They didn't have breakfast, either they couldn't afford, mom couldn't, or mom wasn't there. Probably started her work early and, you know, there was nothing for the children. And I would find, as a teacher myself, that some of the kids would come in very angry. That's when I was a new teacher. Really angry, knocking over desks, you know, causing issues. And then later found, when I talked to them individually, that it's simply they were hungry. And one little boy, I remember, told me, he said, Miss Edgel, I'm just hungry. And when I learned that, that's before we had free breakfast. I would bring food to school, and hide it, like crackers and things that he could eat and cheese, and give that to him. And that changed his whole perspective. So food really plays a big part in not only learning, but in their behaviors as well. So that's
Yes.
amazing that you did that.
Because of all of the strategies that was actually a finalist in the Ministry of Education last Principal of the Year award. And that was it very much expressing for me, and the school celebrated itself. That was just not about me, but the entire team I was working with.
Excellent, excellent. All right, so you, as you say, have made substantial improvements at the school, and that's wonderful. But as a leader, you employ an inspirational and motivational approach with your students. Okay, so can you share some specific examples or success stories of how you do that?
Interestingly, I believe that I was perfectly positioned for Penwood High. And this is based on my upbringing, and I always share my upbringing with my students.
Right.
Because on a Saturday like this very one, I would actually, from a very young age, would actually be on the streets at the market selling in order to fund myself to school for a week. And I always implore them, education is the only way out of poverty.
Yes.
And so I have something called Principals Hour. So from time to time, I meet different sets of students to really inspire them that this is the way out.
Yes, yes. Wonderful. You're a friend of Mr. Renford, and he gave me yes.
You went to high school.
Oh, okay. And I know he finds mentorship very important and believes that it will help. Yes, yes. All right. Thank you. So look, I'm told that you have a very keen sense of humor. Okay, so I need a laugh right now. So how does humor help you though as a leader?
As a leader, I have recognized from a very long time that I cannot take nothing personally. So sometimes we have to laugh at ourselves. I've been taught that it's not you, but it's all about you.
Right.
Interestingly, I was told that I'm like the father of my teachers. So I'm always taking care of them. But this was done in a somewhat insultive way. But actually turned it around and just laughed at everyone like, so what? Yes, that is what they take care of you.
Right, right. Have you got any examples of something that you can recall that was so funny? Because sometimes as teachers, our children will say things and you're like, what? Some of it is really, really comical. So you don't have any for us?
No,
all right.
Right now.
Well, when you think about it, then
on the spot, I would generally click.
Yeah.
But not clicking on this Saturday at all.
Yes. Well, when you think of any, we need a joke, right, Mr. Witter? I don't know if you're still on listening. All righty. You were inspired by Dr. Martin Luther King. So tell me now, how does his principles influence, the first part is, how does his principles influence your leadership style? And then I want to know about other inspirational figures that shaped your life. So let's do the first part first. How has Dr. Martin Luther King's principles influenced your leadership style?
Dr. King, when I read upon him, I'm just so inspired. And because of this, every morning when we have General Assembly, I always share with the students and they would repeat after me. If we can't fly, we run. If we can't run, we walk. And if we can't walk, we crawl. But whatever we're doing,
Yes.
It means that we're moving from a 50% to even a 55. We must be keep moving forward. So in terms of Dr. King inspired me, he inspired me as an inspirational leader. So yes, you know the target, you know where you want to go to, but force will not be the order of the day. It will always be about inspiration.
Absolutely.
In terms of the second part of the question, what was it again?
Tell us about any other inspirational leaders who shape your approach to leadership, other than Martin Luther King?
Yes, indeed. Nelson Mandela, of course.
Yeah.
And it comes back from my upbringing, you know?
Yes.
Education, again, is the most powerful weapon which we can use to change the world. And Mandela, from moving from prison to president, that shows the power of education. It is not about any physical fight or confrontation. It's all about using your intellect. It's all about using your influence to change the world.
Yes. That's very true. You know, I love that man. And what inspires me about him, it was that when he was freed, one would think he would come back with vengeance and revenge and how am I going to get back at these people? But he put his people first and did what was best at that time for them, you know, to improve South Africa and the situation they were in. Because most of us, you know, normally we would like, I'm going to get these people. I was in jail for how many years? Yes, but when he got in power, he didn't do that. He didn't do that. So God bless him. Yes, wonderful, wonderful one. Any others that you might want to tell us about? That's a good one.
Mine right now.
Right. What about some Jamaican ones?
Jamaican ones, Marcus Garvey, of course.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Yes. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. We can't.
The legendary Bob Marley.
Yes.
Because he could actually just relax and listen to some of the tunes. And if you reflect on his life back then, he was able to pull into major political parties in the most dreadful time of Jamaica.
Yes,
together,
yes.
Music.
Yes, you're right. He did that. And he also worked very hard as a young person, you know. You know, he didn't just one day get up and be Bob Marley, you know. He struggled to get there, you know. So I love what you said earlier about making small improvements, you know, walking a little more, you know, just doing a little bit more, because that's part of my motto as well. I call it raising the bar. You know, with the jumpers, they say when the raising the bar idea came, you know, that phrase came from, they would raise the bar so slightly that the jumper didn't even notice it. And that's how they kept being able to go higher and higher. Had they raised it too high, then you're afraid. But it was done just slightly higher and you felt you could do it. So I totally agree with what you're saying, you know, that we need to just keep moving forward, doing a little better. It doesn't have to be a large amount, but every little bit counts. So I think that's awesome. Yes. All right. You have certainly a wonderful example of a good principal. Jamaica needs you and we're proud of you. Is there anything I didn't ask you that you'd like to tell our audience today? We still have a few minutes.
Our full theme is progress,
yes,
not perfection. And
right.
coming back to the thing you were mentioning a while ago. So while Penwood is considered one of the lower level inner city school, we are indeed progressing. Yes. We are rebranding. We are making a mark on the world. And next 5 years or so, you will see bigger and better things coming out of Penwood High School.
Wow, that's wonderful. Yes, thank you. Thank you so very much for that. So there's nothing else that I missed that you can think of?
No.
All right. Thank you again so very much for coming on. I apologize for a slight delay, but you made it. You made it. So what's going on in Jamaica now as we speak? Anything interesting?
It is extremely sunny, nice weather.
So what plans do you have for the school?
Presently, we want to acquire a school bus for the school and my short-term target. And it comes back to getting the students in school and on time, because the parents on the area, they are reluctant to release them in the early mornings. But this is our target we have been put. Well, interestingly, we have a 5K run walk next week, Sunday.
Excellent.
And we'll be having a gospel concert earlier in 2025 towards raising funds for this venture. So if any of your listeners want to come and help to boost Penwood, this is our short-term target.
That's awesome. Awesome. So you actually put on like fundraisers to raise the funds to take care of these needs. That's wonderful. Are you able to get sponsors as well in Jamaica, like sponsorships to help you?
We are trying our utmost best. But what I recognize is that the sponsors give the schools that are already flush with resources. And it comes back to people want to be a part of something that is already going on. So until we are shining board, then we just have to do what we need to do in our small corner, and then we will expand further. So we're actually in the process of seeking sponsors.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, is there a number or anything you'd like to leave us with in case anyone wants to contact you, may want to help the school, and be a part of the progress there?
Sure, definitely. You can contact me directly at 876-891-4565.
One more time, please.
So that's 876-891-4565.
Excellent. Thank you so much. We've come to the end of our interview. Time goes so quickly when you're having fun, Mr. Largie. Thank you again for coming on. It's an absolute pleasure talking to you, and I'm so proud of Jamaica, and even more proud now to know we have principals and teachers like yourself dedicated to the doing the best they can for Jamaica's youth. So God bless you for that.
And of course,
thank you.
Of course, Sister Joan, I would love to just chime in here, my brother. Thank you so much for your leadership.
Yes.
And my pleasure indeed.
We will continue to give your numbers out so that if anyone wants to participate and help your school, we will try our best to continue giving that information out. Okay? Thank you so much.
Indeed.
Wonderful. God bless you again. Thank you both.
God bless you guys. And of course, you are in tune to CRR-FM. Ms. Joan, you want to give us your final words?
Yes. Welcome again. And thank you all for listening to CRR-FM. Keep it locked. Make sure you get the app and you're listening to CRR-FM, where you get a little bit of everything.
Amen. Thank you, my dear. God bless you.
Bye-bye.